It's that grand time of year again. All of our contestants are now in Indonesia and are going to be competing soon for the Miss Grand International 2022 pageant. We're going to take a first look at some of our contestants. If you're new here, I'm Suzi Greenberg. I am a former title holder and I've competed both in the Miss and Mrs. division. So today I'm going to be going over my first impressions and some of my favorites of the contestants who are going to be competing in the 2020 pageant. Because this is a first impression, I have only looked at these girls' photos, specifically from the website. I have not gone on their Instagrams, and I do not know how these women are going to speak or how they walk. I'm purely basing this impression off of how photogenic they are. Generally, I don't do this for most pageant systems, but because it is Miss Grand, and Miss Grand does put a heavy emphasis on physicality and beauty, I feel that it is part of the score, so these judgments are more valid. On the Miss Grand website, they have, at this moment in time, they have 4 photos: a headshot, an arrival photo, a activewear photo, and a swimsuit photo. There will be uploaded a national costume and evening gown, but those have not been posted as of this moment when I'm filming. So I'm basing all of my impressions off of these 4 photos and any other little bits of information I can find on their website. Diving right on in. So in no particular ranking order, we're going to start with Brazil. Brazil is not only is she beautiful, but she knows how to pose. She has this stage presence, like when she knows how to like hold her body right because in all 4 photos she looks great. A comment just about all these photos is, unfortunately, the swimsuit photos aren't really the greatest. No one really had a super great swimsuit photo. I think it was because it was like super windy on the day of the swimsuit shoot, and I could tell that it was like super sunny and they didn't have the proper shade that they usually use. There's like this special almost like a reflector mat that they'll use to kind of make it so that the sun's not glaring into your eyes when you're having a photo shoot. They obviously didn't have this, so even though she was under these conditions, she still had a great swimsuit photo. Colombia. She again had all 4 photos were great. It's Colombia. They always look amazing. Colombia always looks great. But she looks wonderful in her photos, and she just seems very sweet. She definitely has the kind of face that is, not only is it beautiful, but it's kind of someone like I want to be her friend. So it's very inviting. Costa Rica. 4 photos, all great. She has such this very sleek, elegant, she's going for more of like the sass kind of a look. Very sensual, sleek. I expect to see a lot of sass from her. Czech Republic. I am very excited to see that Czech Republic is on my list here and is doing so well. She is gorgeous and she looks like she's having so much fun in her photos. And I think that's really important because all these girls are going to be beautiful, but if you're able to add that excitement to your photos, and it just adds so much more personality, it makes you so much more real. Like I said, I'm very excited that Czech Republic is here. I see so much potential for Czech Republic. Czech Republic, not only do they have some of the most beautiful women in the world, they just have so much potential to do so well in these pageants. I am always looking out for Czech Republic, and I'm really, really excited to see that over the years they're becoming stronger and better contestants. So Her photos look great. I have so much hope in her, and I just really, really hope that she can bring all of the personality and the work and the walk and the speaking ability, and hopefully Czech Republic may come home with a win. Dominican Republic. Dominican Republic, I wasn't as much of a fan of her headshot, but when I saw some of her other photos, it was enough to convince me to put her on this list. I loved her arrival outfit photo. She just looked so cute and endearing, and I also really liked her activewear photo. Her swimsuit one wasn't the best, but like I said, I think that might have been more the conditions of weather than anything else. Ecuador, another sleek beauty here. Her headshot was my favorite of all of her photos. So I put her on this list because I could tell by her photos that she definitely knew how to properly pose, how to hold herself. She looks like someone who's put in a lot of work and has the experience. However, I just think that some of her live photos maybe weren't the best pictures taken of her. But from what I did see, I liked it enough to put her on this list. Guatemala. Not one of my favorite girls, but I liked her enough to put her on this list. Plus, she definitely has that very Miss Grand look about her. Surprisingly, though, I think one of her best photos was her swimsuit photo. She was one of the only women who had a really good swimsuit photo. So she gets the award for that. Mexico. Her headshot completely stole my eyes immediately. I was so drawn to it. Her photo is so captivating. She's the side look and with this little like, hey, kind of look. It was good posing. Whoever took her headshot did a wonderful job. And it was a good job of selecting that photo. I do think her headshot is her strongest photo. But if she can bring that level of charm and captivation to the stage, she definitely may have a spot in the top 20. Nigeria. Nigeria is my girl from Africa. I have a gut feeling about it. There's always at least one girl from Africa that always captivates me and I'm always end up rooting for, and I think it's going to be her. I loved her headshot. I thought it was wonderful. Her other photos weren't bad. However, the one thing that concerns me about her is her styling. I'm not a fan of the styling, personally. I don't know what her judged competition wardrobe is going to look like. Hopefully it's better, or it is something that kind of falls in line with what the judges are looking for, or at least that accentuates her body, right? Because that's the most important part of any wardrobe, is not picking something that you think the judges will like, but picking a wardrobe that makes your body look the best that it can possibly be. We were trying to put our best foot forward. So hopefully styling won't be an issue with her. Peru. So charming. And you can tell that this girl knows her posing and has technique. I can tell definitely from the photos. I do love her headshot the most, but hopefully all that charm and all that technique will come across on the stage. Philippines. So, of course, it's the Philippines. I put her on the list because the Philippines always sends a girl that's super prepared. So I have to give her a spot because it's the Philippines. And I could definitely tell from her photos that she just looks so comfortable. And that is one of the things that the Philippines does the best, is make their girls so prepared that they're so comfortable and that they can just wipe the floor clean. However, while I really liked the Philippines, she didn't come across as an immediate winner. Maybe I will be proven wrong once I see her compete, but if I'm purely basing this off of photos, she does not come across as a winner. Top 20, but not my top 5. Puerto Rico. This is a girl that honestly, I don't have any specific thing about her that I can point out and be like, this is the reason why. There's something about her that it just told me that she's going to be more of a front runner. Her headshot is very good. She does have the very Miss Grand-esque look, but she definitely captivated me enough to put her on this list. Russia. You don't see Russia on the list very often. However, I loved her headshot. It was so beautiful, and I kind of like the fact that her photo is different than all of the other girls. Like most of the girls, it's on like a white background. Hers has it in front of some, I don't know, living room or something, and it's all of like soft focus. It was so pretty. I loved her headshot. Her other photos I wasn't too impressed with, but I really, really liked her headshot. Her headshot was so nice that I put her on this list. I also put her on this list because when I was looking at the website, she was by far the fan favorite on their website. Now, whether that means or translates to how well she does on the stage, I'm not sure. I believe that how fan favorite works is when you vote, you have to pay for votes. So she could have just had really, really great friends and fans that are voting for her, and other people haven't had a chance to vote yet for their other contestants. But if she has this many fans, I kind of made an assumption that she knew what she was doing. But like I said, I loved her headshot. Although one thing I did want to mention about her is she did come off a little princess-esque. She kind of looked a bit more like a Disney princess rather than more of a Miss Grand Queen. I don't know if they're gonna have that against her, or maybe it'll look different when she's on stage with the wardrobe she has, but that would definitely be a styling area that could potentially make her look pale in comparison to her competition. Thailand. Oh my gosh, this girl is so stinking cute. She reminds me of a Madame Alexander doll. Like, tell me I'm wrong. Like, her face is so adorable. And when she smiles, she is absolutely charming. And I love her. I can't not love her. She's so stinking cute. But she definitely also gives forth that very queen vibe. So, and it's Thailand. Thailand also knows how to prepare their women very well. So I would not be surprised whatsoever if this girl makes top 20. Venezuela. Need I say more? Her headshot is, of course, stunning, like what you'd expect from Venezuela. Her other photos are very good as well. Not as good as some of the others, but of course it's Venezuela. You know, this girl's probably been practicing for this since she was about 5 or 6 years old. So I'm not too worried about her. The only thing is sometimes Venezuela can come across as very stiff and kind of a bit more of a routine and a bit more too polished sometimes, as collectively as a whole, as a country. But in this pageant, in Miss Grand, those things aren't really held against them. So I don't think that will really be a problem for her if she's more of a cookie cutter Venezuelan. Rounding things up is Vietnam. She was another girl who had a pretty good swimsuit photo in comparison to the others. Overall, her photos just were very consistent with each other. I think that she's definitely going to be placing in the top 20. I'm not really sure where. I wasn't really getting a ton of personality from her, but that could just be due to the photo. I'll have to wait and see her on stage in preliminary to get more of an opinion on her. As you saw, I only picked a top 16, not a top 20. And I did this because these were the women who I definitely felt more confident about. There were some other women who I maybe really liked their headshot, but then when I saw some of their other photos, it concerned me, or there was just something about them that I just wasn't all in. I didn't want to put in 4 more women just because to fill this spot. Of course, I will do that during preliminaries, but this is just kind of a first impression. People who really jump out at me, people who I see them and go, yes, you. I definitely see you doing well. So we shall see if my instincts and my intuition is correct or not. So this has been fun. This was a fun one for me. But who are your favorites? Who are the girls who just took your breath away and that who you are rooting for? I want to know all about it. And as we get closer to the competition, we'll learn more about them. I'll find more insight on them, and my true favorite fangirl will come out, and I'll have my true top contenders. But we shall see. I want to know who all your favorite girls are so I can look into them more. So I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your day, and we'll see you back here soon for preliminaries. Bye.